let's get to it then. Okay, so some of you I know have been here for the last couple weeks. We've been doing AI. We started with AI for learning and practicing English, and it was mostly with seeing words on your screen, and there was some speaking practice. And then the second lesson that we did was the same kind of thing, but we started showing things that are more visual so that you can see with your eyes, see pictures. And also we did a lot of things for sound for people who learned with sound. Now we're taking AI away from specifically learning English and moving it more towards how you can use it to help you find a job, how you can use it to get ready for a job interview. And then also sometimes, I mean, maybe it's your first job or you used to do a job in your home country, but you don't really see that job around a lot in America. Like maybe they just don't have that job so much. You can, we're going to go over either finding the right idea for a job or career for you that maybe you even didn't even think about before, or how to take some of your skills that you used in your other jobs in your home country and like what kind of jobs they will have in the United States where you can still use those skills and they will still help you for those kinds of situations. So it's a pretty big lesson, and most of what we're going to be using is we're going to be back to ChatGPT because it's one of the best and it's one of the easiest to use. But then we're also going to be using a new AI that didn't even exist the last time I did a workshop. It came out the day after we did the last class. And I'm gonna use that also as a way to get more information. And you can also use it for the things that we talked about last time. It's just a really cool tool, and I want to show it off because you can use it for so many things. Um, and let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah, and then there's going to be sample interviews. We're going to go over that, how you can have the AI give you a fake interview as if you're talking to someone from that company, and then how to kind of give it more questions that are more real from what it would just say if you just say, okay, give me a fake interview. We're going to talk about giving it more information to make the experience of the interview more real and more specific to your situation. And then finally, we're going to talk about resumes. We're going to be talking about either if you don't have a resume, creating one for the first time, or if you already have one, but you're worried it might not be good enough, or you might be missing something, or even if you think it's perfect, but you just want to confirm, how to use AI to check it over, give you ideas for what to include if you miss something, or sometimes if you're putting too much information that just makes it so that whoever's reading it isn't really seeing the good things because there's so many other things it gets lost. It will tell you that kind of thing. And then connected to the resumes, there's also cover letters because a lot of jobs they like you to send your resume or CV, they say in some other countries, and also include a letter to introduce you why you're interested in that job. And this will kind of help you get ideas for how to write a cover letter for the job specifically that you're applying for, not just any job, but to really make it specific for your situation each time. So it's a lot of stuff to cover, but we're going to try it. And yeah, so let's begin. Are there any questions before I move into the first section, just about what I went over? No? Everybody feels okay? Okay. So all right, so introduction, I'm looking at my lesson plan. Okay, so let's start with the resume because that's often, at least in the United States, one of the first things that you're going to need to have ready because even if you find a job that you really want to apply for, if you don't have that resume, if you don't have that cover letter, if you don't have something to actually send to the company where you want to work, then finding a job opening isn't so helpful. So what we can do is I actually made a new GPT that is, I call it Job Hunter GPT, that is made for helping you with this kind of thing. So we're going to use, and this is kind of like the easy button because I already told it what to do in many situations. Oh, I think we just got someone trying to get in. Hold on, I heard the sound, but it didn't give me a pop-up. Okay, maybe.
Oh, she left. She left. Maylee left.
Oh, someone left. Okay.
You took her
Okay,
name.
my bad. So this one, basically, when you have a custom GPT, it just means that someone already gave it a whole lot of information already, and it already gave it some prompts that once you start using it, you never actually see what somebody told it to do, but it's already kind of has an idea of what it's going to be working on with you. As where when you use the regular one, just Chat GPT, it's a completely open book and it has no idea what you're going to talk about. So with this one, I already gave it some ideas for how to answer people, how to talk to people, and I gave it about 800 pages of interview questions and responses and all for different kinds of jobs, different industries, and then also ideas for like how to find the best job for you. So I already gave it all that information so that you don't have to provide so much extra information. So okay, so let's pretend like you don't have a resume and you really just want to, I mean, you're starting from nothing, completely starting from scratch. And a good way to work with this is to have a conversation with the chatbot, with ChatGPT, and say, can we have a talk about my work experience and my education and my hobbies and my interests? And then at the end, can you give me some ideas for jobs that fit well with me, that will work well with me? And if you're using the Job Hunter GPT, I already filled out a sample question that you can just click to get to that point. And it says, help me find what kind of job I will be good at. And then it says, can you? And then it talks about having a conversation. So you just click it. And now it's searching all the information I gave it before. And I'm going to go ahead and put that link in there now in the chat so that you can follow with me. Actually, I might need to get it out of my email. There it is. Copy link. And then where'd my chat room go? There it is. All right, so there is my custom Chat GPT link. If you want to follow along. And all I've done so far is clicked on the first automatic prompt on the right side. I can start it over again. Oh. New chat, there we go. All right, so when you get there, you'll see this Job Hunter GPT, now hiring. And then these are 4 sample prompts I gave it. And all I did was click on this one all the way on the right. You can kind of see where my mouse is. Help me find what kind of job I will be good at. So click that. It's thinking. And now it's going to start asking you some questions about your experience. And you can either go slow and answer them one at a time. For me, I like to just answer them all at once in a really big block of text. And I told this bot that most people that are going to be using this are probably not native English speakers. So it adds on the question, what level of English do you feel comfortable with? So let's say I'm just going to make up a person to demonstrate. So what kind of work experiences do you have so far? So I have never worked in the USA, but when I was in my home country, I worked as a marketing assistant. And while I was in school, I worked at a cafe. And then what do you enjoy doing with your free time? So maybe I'll say I like playing music, painting, cooking, and gardening. And then what skills do you really, oh, okay, sorry, I'm gonna let other people in. Okay. Uh, so the next question it's asking you, what skills do you feel that you're really good at? So I am okay with computers. I know Office software and basic Photoshop. Um, I can use Excel and Word and do mail merges. Um, I'm a creative person. And then, are there any jobs you've always thought about doing, even if they seem out of reach? So that means it's like something's like, oh, that would be a really fun job to do, but I don't know if I have the right skills to do that. I don't know if I have the right education. So let's try coming up with something. So I said this person worked as a marketing assistant before. Let's see. I've always thought it would be fun to be a chef or maybe have my own business. Um, and then let's see, what motivates you most in a job? So what that's asking is like when you go to work, what is the reason you're going to work? Is it because you want to make a lot of money? Is it because you want to have that feeling like you're actually helping people and doing something important with your life? Is it is it because like do you choose a job because it's really flexible with your schedule, so you don't always have to be there at the same time and leave at the same time? Is it really important for you to work outside or with computers? It's just asking you these kind of things so that I can get some more ideas about what other jobs maybe you didn't consider that could be a good match. So let's say I don't want to work super early in the morning. And let's see. I think it's good to work with computers. Uh, of course, I want to make good money, but it I don't need to be a millionaire. I want to be comfortable and enjoy what I'm doing every day. I don't want to be unhappy 8 or 9 hours every day, 5 days a week, even if I make $6 million. And I made some typos. It will understand my typos. And then it says, what level of English do you feel comfortable with? So I'm just going to say, I feel my English is intermediate. And then let's see what it says when I send it. So now it's going to give you a bunch of ideas. Sometimes the list can be pretty long depending on how much information. And you'll look at these ideas and say, hey, that actually is kind of interesting. Can you tell me more about that? And it will start telling you if the skills that you already told it um, supports this job, or let's say, oh, maybe your personality would fit with this job, but you need to have this kind of certificate or this kind of degree. It will let you know if you're missing something. I forgot to tell it about education, so I forgot to tell you I have a BA in communications. So now after I said that, it says, oh, maybe you were right to be doing marketing in your home country, and social media manager, like a lot of people might not think about that, but businesses, especially big ones, they have their websites, they have to reach out to customers, and that's what that would be. Public relations. Oh, we got more people coming. And so it's giving you all these different ideas where maybe you never thought about that before. And so it gets your mind kind of moving to a new place. Just like before, well, after this finishes, let's see. So just like with the other things, you can click here with read aloud, or if you're doing this on your smartphone, you long press tap and then select read aloud, and it will also read this for you. Um, just because we're talking about employment and job hunting, if there's any words that you don't understand, just like when you're studying and practicing English, you can say, sorry, my English is not my first language. Can you explain this again using different words that will be easier for me? And it will do that for you. You can always do that with ChatGPT. Um, so yeah, so this will give you a bunch of different ideas. And let's say, so let's pick one of these that I like. So let's try, okay, so it says, let's try public relations. I never thought about that. So, okay, public relation. I never thought about it. Can you give me some examples? What would I do every day? What uh, are the requirements? And so now it'll start telling you about, when you go to work every day, what is it going to be like? What will you actually be doing at this job? And this bot that I made, it gives a lot of information, but you kind of start narrowing it down. And as you can see, it talks about, okay, so here it's talking about possible certificates that you might need for that job. Okay, this is way more information than I expected it to give me for one job. Uh, oh yeah, and then it also gives you an idea for the different salaries that you can expect for the different job categories. Um, so yeah, so this is a way that if you're just starting out, new country, or even first time working, it gives you some ideas of jobs that, again, maybe you never thought about it before. And if you have more of a natural conversation with it also, it will pick up on what you're telling it and be able to think, you know what? I think you would be really good at, and then whatever it is that it picks up on from your personality. I actually did this for myself when I was testing out this job hunting bot, and it gave me a few ideas for jobs that I never even considered, I'm like, you know what? That's pretty good. And like, because I never even thought about it. So it was saying that I should be going to schools and teaching about teachers how to use AI in their classrooms every day, and not working for one school but going to many of them. And I'm like, oh, okay. Anyways, so after you figure that out, um, we can move on to the resume. So I'm gonna restart this. And let's go back to this is, imagine this is your first resume. You've never, or resume or CV, you've never done one before. I already saved a prompt here and it says, can you help me make my first resume? So let's click here. So this is assuming you've never made a CV, you don't have any documents ready, and it's going to go ahead and ask you about all the things that you would normally want to put on your CV to send to a company that you want to work for the first time. So I'll continue pretending like I'm this marketing person. It says, okay, I have a BA degree in communications from from let's see, let's say I'll pretend like I'm Korean, from Yonsei University. Oh, someone's requesting admit. Okay, and then work experience. I worked as a um for a few years. And then skills, I'm just gonna copy everything that I just did the last time to speed it up. So cooking. Okay, so career goals. I want to find a stable career that I can grow with and advance in. And let's see where it goes from here. Is that everything? Okay. It might ask me for more information. Okay, so now it's starting to make all of the fields that you would see in a normal resume. And then if I didn't say something in my questions, it will put it in parentheses and you can go through and fill it out. And now it's asking, okay, how do you like the information so far? And you can kind of give it some feedback. So if you wanted, so it's like, okay, you can look at these things and maybe it said, oh, I didn't actually do that. I was doing something else. And you can give it more details and then about what you were actually doing. And then it will put another dot here and take away the ones that are not correct. And say it in a way that makes it you sound really good for a resume, because you don't want to sound boring when you send something to a job that you want to get. So for example, let's see here. In my last job, I didn't really schedule things for people, but I did many reports that my boss found useful, tracking client information and Successful campaigns. And see now it's updating it based on what I just corrected there. And it just changed that section, but if you want to see the whole thing again, you can tell it. And so what you can do with this information after you answer all these questions and keep going back is you can find a resume template, and there's a lot of them online. Even in some office software, they have one built in, and you can then just copy everything here. So let's just do a quick search here. Let's go to Google. So we'll do like template for marketing. We'll find a free one. All these websites want you to sign in, so. Okay, so they tried to already do that for you, but what we're gonna do is now we can copy this one here. And then I was hoping that it was just gonna give me a file to download. Maybe we'll try this. All right, I should have had a template ready. Let's go to a different one. Can you, there, that's what I was looking for. So a lot of these websites try to do it for you. So a lot of these, it used to be a lot more common to just download a Word document or an RTF file, but what it's actually asking you to do is to answer these questions. But eventually, you're going to get to a place where you add these bullet points here, and you'll be able to copy everything you got from ChatGPT to put on there, and then it will be formatted like this, so that it looks nice. Usually, let's see. I'm just going to try to get it to. I'm skipping all over this website and then download. They always want you to put your. You're killing me. All right. Well, this one was a bait and switch. It said it was free, but it wasn't. The point is, when you get your template, you can copy everything over there. Yeah, that was not what I expected. It said free, but it wasn't free. But when you do find a free one, you can just copy everything, and it has everything personalized to you, and they already phrased it in a way that makes you sound better than just not saying anything. If you just say, I did this, depending on how your word selection is, it can either be very useful or it can be very positive. And this is pretty good at phrasing things in a positive way. Um, let's see. For example, I said that I wanted something that, lets me grow with the company. This makes it sound a lot more professional than the way that I typed it in there. Um, and that could be the beginning of, um, a resume if you had never made one before. I'm gonna go and I have a few sample resumes here, um, for different situations. So let's say I wanted to, I'll use the marketing one again. Um, mm, oh, there it is. Okay. So can you help me update my resume by asking questions? And what you can do is you can either copy and paste the test here or text here, or you can click attach file and upload a PDF or a Word document. I'm not going to do that because I just copied and pasted and do that. Okay, so yes, help. So now it's saying, is there any way we can make that, or would you like more help to fine tune it and make it better? So yes, give me ideas to make this as good as possible. I mean, it's just like talking to it. And now it's giving the specific ideas. So add specific metrics. So like if you when you were working at the company, if sales went up 20% in, a short time, say that. Um, actually give examples right here. So increased organic search traffic, boosted social media engagement, highlight leadership and collaboration. And these are all ideas that companies are looking for when they're hiring someone for this kind of job. In this case, I've been focusing on marketing, but you can give it any other type of job and it will think about, if someone's going to hire you for that kind of job, it will give ideas related to it. For example, I have one in here for a nurse, so we could try that one next. And so that resume, it needed a bit of work because clearly it wasn't doing all of these things. I'm going to try it again with the nurse one. So can you help me update my resume? Where's the nurse? I think that was the last one. Nurse practitioner. Oops. Take away that. So I'm just doing the same thing I did as for the marketing person. And then says, now I want you to tell me how to make this perfect. Give me ideas. So comparing this one to the other one, it's telling you already that you did a pretty good job the first time, as where the other one, it didn't say that I did a good job the first time. So it's not just going to say something just so that it has something to say. If you're actually doing a good job, it will tell you that you're doing a good job on something. Um, So like for the last one, it didn't even get into applicant tracking systems because it was focusing on all these other things. But once you get to a certain level, it's going to be more picky and talking about these kinds of issues. Some of them are the same, leadership, because that applies to most jobs. Continuing education, professional development, because technology is always changing, and especially in medicine. I mean, there's things we can do today that we couldn't 10 years ago. So it shows that you're familiar with all this stuff. Um, So yeah, so this is how it will help you revise a CV or resume that you already did and give you suggestions. Then what you can do is you make the changes and then you upload your file again or copy and paste again, and it will tell you if you need to make more revisions. And then you can keep going with that until you're happy with what you have. So now what we're going to look at is the cover letter, which is the letter to introduce yourself to a company when you find that job that you really like. And so this one had a cover letter included, or not a cover letter, but a job listing included. So this one says nurse practitioner. The job title is, or a company, Healing Hands Clinic in Austin, Texas. And the description is seeking a compassionate nurse practitioner with 4+ years of experience in patient care and healthcare systems. The candidate should have empathy, communication skills, and critical thinking abilities. Experience in medical diagnosis and familiarity with electronic health records is essential. Salary $90,000 to $110,000 a year. So I'm copying this job listing, and this would be like something you find on a job website like Indeed or LinkedIn or anywhere that's advertising a position. And so what you can say is, okay, I need to write a cover letter. This is the job listing. Can you help me? And then you just copy and paste what was in the job listing. So now it's showing you the correct formatting. So this is how they like to see it at most places, with the address block up here in the left-hand corner. You have the date, and then you would say the hiring manager, or if you know what their name is, you put that name of the clinic, the address. This is just like the formatting that they like to see in the US. It might be different in other countries. Dear, and then because we don't know who the hiring manager is, we just say hiring manager. And this is a sample cover letter. But kind of tapping into what Alice was saying before, let's say you read this and you're like, "Ooh, I mean, okay, this is kind of true, but it's not what I would say." You can tell it to, "Hey, I would rather focus on this. Is that okay? Can you make it work with this value or this experience I have?" And it will kind of make little changes, and it focuses on these are the things that you should be talking when you write your letter. So your introduction, your experience, your skills and how they relate to what they asked for in that job listing, um, showing that you're excited about working there, and then giving them an invitation to talk to you about working at their company or their hospital. And so Yeah, they give you this sample cover letter. If I'm being honest, a lot of people just send this cover letter, but I shouldn't be advocating that as a teacher. I should be saying you should write your own based on this, but realistically, a lot of people do copy these kind of things. But this is a good opportunity to practice your own writing, to be able to say these same kinds of things, and then put yours in there and ask it for feedback. But since this is a job hunting workshop, and not a learning English workshop, I'm focusing more on it showing you how to write what you need to write, to talk to a company, as opposed to tutoring and revising English. So let's see here. Okay, so this is what I would like everyone to do. Um, Actually, before I do this, so if you were just using the regular Chat GPT and not the special one that I put in the chat, um, let's see. Um, you can you just have to be very specific and tell it what you want. So, can you help me build my first resume to find a job? I don't know what to do. And the more simple your prompt, the more general it's going to be. This is a very basic resume. And it's just giving you a template that you could copy and paste and fill in yourself. But then, let's say, can you give me advice for updating my resume to be a, let's see, let's pull up my uh, software developer. Let's go with that one. So this one's giving more of a step-by-step critique, objective, and then it's showing how would revise. And then this is giving specific advice for each category. I'll put that prompt that I just put in there, in the chat where it is. Or oh, I sent that to Susan, not everybody. Let's There you go. So that's what I just asked the regular Chat GPT. Pretty simple. The problem with this is sometimes it's just very general information. Sometimes it does a good job. Sometimes it's not focused enough for what you're looking for. But the more information you give it, the better. I think that for revising resumes, this is going to be fine. But when it comes to when we're practicing interviews, it's not going to be as good as the other one. So what I would like everyone to do now is to either use the general Chat GPT or the Job Hunter GPT that I linked before, and give it a shot. If you have a resume on your computer already, you can try copying and pasting it and asking it for some help revising. If you're looking for ideas for new jobs based on your experience, you can copy and paste your resume there or just answer some questions and see if it gives you some new ideas. Just try out some of the things that I did because I think that it will be easier for you to see how it works when you're actually doing it rather than watching me type in there. Another thing that you can do is you can use the speaking thing on your phone, but I think that for this one, it's actually probably easier when you're just typing and copying and pasting. The speech um, conversation mode, it's better for when we get to the interviews. So, do you guys still have the link or did it get buried? Oh, there it is. And then there we go. And are there any questions so far? I know I've been talking a lot. No?
Justin, I have a
Yes.
couple questions in the chat
Oh,
that I
okay.
put.
Yeah, sorry, the chat was hidden by my webcam. Let's see here. Let's see here. If you are applying for a specific job, can you request that it is okay, so if I understand you correctly, so I think we kind of got to this when you copy and paste the job listing because it will have the specific requirements that that company is asking you for. So you can copy that in there, and then sometimes you can say just the same as you would ask somebody, any like a human, is there anything else I should know that may be useful for me to include in my resume, cover letter, conversations, and it can expand on that. The more information, for example, let's say you're applying for a really famous company that has a strong reputation. For example, if I was doing the software developer at Microsoft, I could say, okay, I'm applying for Microsoft. What should I know about this company that I should mention to give me a better chance of being selected for the interview? Um, and yes, I agree about the resume websites being bait and switch. It's very annoying. Um, yes, and you can use the Word templates that they give you. Okay, is there software that allows hiring managers to see something that has been done? So this is, I mean, the answer is yes, because everybody can see it, but it's AI is getting so good that these detection systems are like they go out of date really quickly, but they're always trying to play catch up. I mean, it's always going to be best if you want to be 100% safe to use your own words, but use AI's advice. Or if AI writes something for you to edit and then put it in your own words. But there are AI checkers, just like schools have. I don't know how many employers actually bother with it. I would say that the bigger the company, the more likely um, that is that they'll have some kind of system like that. But the technology is available. It's just I th I mean my gut feeling is that they're more worried about it when you're taking classes at university because they don't want to be giving somebody a degree um, where basically they don't know how to do any of the work versus just phrasing a cover letter. But again, they can check to see if there was AI used to write it.
But if I would like to ask a question. If you get a cover letter using AI, but you modify some things,
Yes.
is
So
there a way that can be detected?
it depends on how many things you modify. So the way that it works is it can't say 100% this is AI or not. What it does is it reads through everything and it says, I think that there's an 80% chance that an AI wrote it, or I think that there's a 30% chance that an AI wrote it, or this text is 90% most likely human. This is actually a really big problem for university students because I'll just use my own case because I'm working on another degree. My first degree were like in writing and English, and a lot of times when I write my essays 100% myself and I put it through the AI detector, it says that 80% of it was AI. But that's just because like my education taught me to be very precise and specific with my words, so they think it's still AI. So it can't know 100%. There's a lot of times students get like it says that student writing is AI when it's not. In a lot of ways, it's kind of looking for mistakes or ways of saying things that a computer wouldn't do, because a computer is usually very direct, and a human will many times use more words to say the same thing that aren't necessary. But going back to your question, if you only change one sentence, there's going to be a bigger chance that whatever system they're using will say this was probably made with AI. But if you change, 9 sentences in 10, even if it's saying the same thing but using your own words, then it will probably say this was most likely human. But it's not a, pass fail thing. It's always done in percent. And it's up to the company to decide what percent they will accept.
Okay. Usually what I do for my cover letter is request for AI to use simple words because then I am unable to repeat or to say the words when they are so sophisticated, and also if the cover letter doesn't reflect my personality, my thoughts. In other situations, I use my native language but translate into English, because in that way I know that my essence is captured.
That makes sense. And I think that a lot of people do that, especially in the beginning, because I mean, it is your native language. It's always going to be most comfortable for us to put our ideas, in writing, using our first language. I mean, honestly, in this situation, I would use this as a top opportunity to learn the new vocabulary, kind of going back to what we did in the first workshop. And when it translates your native language into English, you can use that to say, hey, can you teach me the new words here? Because I know the ideas of what it's saying, but I don't know this vocabulary. And then after you learn the vocabulary, then you can try to put it in your own words. But that's kind of mixing both learning English with AI and using AI for job hunting.
Thank you.
Mhm. But yeah, as I said, I think, I don't remember if I said it last week or the week before. I mean, I've had coworkers that say, that English isn't their first language, even though they've been living here for a long time. And a lot of them say they just write the email. Either they usually do it in English because they've been living in the US for a long time and they feel comfortable, but then AI will go and change their writing so that it sounds correct for the situation, and then just copy and paste and send it to the student's parents, and they don't think twice about it. And the reason is obvious, because English isn't his first language. And I know of more than one person that has said that they do that. And I see this as kind of similar, but of course, when you're interviewing for a job, there's more pressure to make it more real and authentic. So If you, I mean, if you choose to turn your cover letter into an English learning opportunity, that is how I would do it. I would have it, write it in your language, have it change it to English, and then use the cover letter that it gave you to learn the new vocabulary, because this is going to be vocabulary you're going to need for your job anyways. And then try to write it in your own words. And since we're not in a classroom, I can't really see what's happening on all of your screens. Is it working okay for you all? Any questions about just how to use it at this point?
No question from my side.
Okay. We're at 7:05. So I'll give you a few more minutes and then I'm going to get something ready to show you after you're finished. Okay. So now that you guys have had a few minutes to play with this, you can come back to this, of course, later on, but I want to move on to something else. So what I just did while you guys were working was I opened up the whole, I don't know what kind of job is right for me. And this is what I told it. I said, okay, this is my resume. I'm a nurse, but I don't feel happy doing this job anymore. I want something that uses some of the same skills, but I hate the long hours. I hate it when the doctors take me for granted at my hospital. And I love kids and I can be creative sometimes. I like making things out of leather and making jewelry. I'm not afraid of hard work. I built a shed or a chicken coop last summer. Can you help me? Is there anything else that you need to know? And so I did that and it gave me this list. And then I said, oh, I forgot, I've got to pay bills. So can you rank the choices that you're giving me by how much money each one makes? And then also, because I'm not happy at my job now, can you rank them by number one, like job satisfaction? So people really like their job to people don't like their job very much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with one being the highest. And so as you've seen, these GPTs can sometimes give you a lot of information, especially when you're just looking for new ideas for types of jobs. So what you can do is copy it. And this is for if you don't want to actually go through and read all of this. And then you can open up this is the new AI I was telling you about before that was not available the last time we had a workshop, and it's called NotebookLM, and I'm going to put that in the chat. NotebookLM.google.com. And this is a really cool new thing. NotebookLM has been around for a while, but they've just added a new feature that I'm going to show you, which is amazing. Where did there it is. Okay. So when you go to NotebookLM, if you don't have an account, you'll have to sign in with a Google account and click a bunch of things like I agree and all that. And eventually, after you've done that, you'll get to something here that looks like this. And you'll click on New Notebook. And it's taking a while. Let's reload. It's making me sign into my work account again. You won't have to do this. This is just the school makes you get a verification code when you're signing in. There we go. Okay. So new notebook. And what this does is it lets you upload PDFs or text files, or you can click a link to a website, or you can copy and paste text. So for this situation, we're just going to copy and paste text. But if you were using this to learn about something, then you could give it a link to a website or some kind of PDF for a class that you're taking. But for now, I'm just copying and pasting all of this that ChatGPT gave me. Insert. And so before they had this new feature, what it would do is it would give you a summary of all of the websites or all of the PDFs that you put in there. You could do a study guide, table of contents, timeline, and that's been around for a while. The new thing that's really cool is this deep dive conversation. So you can click generate, and what it's going to do is do you guys know what a podcast is? Are you familiar with those podcasts? Basically, it's like an internet radio show where two people talk to each other. Sometimes it's one person, sometimes it's more than two, but they discuss whatever is happening. And what this does is it creates a podcast for you to talk about everything that you you gave it. So in this case, it's going to talk about what they were talking about in the text that I just copied and pasted. If I was doing research, you could give it links to maybe 8 websites, and it will go to the websites, read what's on there, and then explain what those websites are talking about for you. And then you can listen to people talk about it interactively. Well, it's not really interactive on your part, but it's listening to them talk about it, and that makes it sometimes easier to take in the information. And the same is true for PDFs. So whenever you're doing something with audio or visual, it takes a few minutes. So I already clicked to generate, but when it's ready, I will show you how this works.
Justin,
Yes.
what is in this case a briefing document?
Let's see, where are you right now? Which
In the options, below notebook guide, it says help me
okay.
create FAQ.
Oh, briefing document. Let's see here. I think this is just to give you the big picture kind of ideas what's going on. I just clicked on it. Let's see what it gives me. I don't
Okay.
usually use that very much. The thing that I really wanted to show you was okay, so this is a briefing document based on everything that I just copied and pasted there. So it organizes everything for you. If you were about to give a presentation or something like that. So when I clicked briefing document, that's what this gives me. So leveraging my existing skills, work-life balance, creative outlet, potential career paths, ranked by salary.
Justin, I don't see the relevance of this notebook to what we were talking about before.
Oh, I was moving on to a new way of taking in information about all of your options. So when it's giving you a lot of text, when you're examining, for example, new careers or trying to get information, sometimes like you just see this huge wall of text and it's just like your eyes start to fog over. And sometimes people are auditory learners rather than visual learners, and this can assist with that to make the information easier to take in by your by a different learning style. And that's how this relates. This is just moving on from what we were talking and kind of adding to it.
And this is something that can be saved then for the
Yes, you can
future?
download it as an MP3. And then also if you use these other things, I mean, really you wouldn't use a study guide for something like this, but
so it is auditory.
it will be auditory. It's still making the auditory thing now. It's doing the generating conversation. Whenever you generate something that's either visual with like pictures, or something with sound, it usually takes a bit longer than text. This sometimes takes about 5 minutes. So
Okay,
I'm just
let me, if I do not want it in a MP3 format, but I do want the information saved and summarized, can I save it in this notebook also?
so yeah, you can always come back and access your notebook, and then you just click on the things that, let's see here, notebook guide, briefing doc. So this was the original briefing doc, and you can still access these. You just need to have internet access and log in with your Google account. And this would be for if you didn't want to save the sound file. If you did want to have the sound file available, you can just log in and click to stream it, and then it will play.
Okay. Okay.
Kind of like a YouTube video without the video.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's taking longer than I thought it would. There we go. Wow, 20 minutes? I've never seen it do a 20-minute one before. Usually it's like 7 minutes. So we're not going to listen to this whole thing, but I will demonstrate.
Right.
Let me see if I can change the audio microphone to my desktop.
Justin, can you ask it to shorten the length of that?
Yeah, you can regenerate, and then a lot of times when you tell it to do it again, it will change the length, sometimes quite considerably, because it thinks that whatever it did the first time wasn't what you were looking for. In this case, this is so long that I'm willing to bet that it would cut it down to something much shorter. Usually it gives me something too short and I need to do it again to get more details. But let's see. Virtual desktop.
Sí.
Para comerlo pasado mañana.
No, para el fin de semana.
O para el fin de semana.
Para el fin de semana mejor. Mañana son las chuletas que ya las saqué. Y mañana entonces las pongo en azúcar. Ajá. Ah, y habría que preparar, bueno, mañana preparo un puré para las chuletas.
Ajá. Es fácil. Usamos la papa.
Can you hear me now? Were you able to hear the audio when I was playing it? No? Yes?
No, we did not.
Okay, I was thinking that it was on your side. Let
No.
me see if this will do. Worst comes to worst, I'll just put the microphone by the speaker. Maybe I'll just do that now. Because I have another microphone.
Patience.
Right. I'm just gonna put this over here. I'll be where I'm still here. My speaker's on the other side though. All right. I'm gonna hit play again. Let me know if you can hear it.
Therapy, which is so cool. This path combines working with kids and your
Yes.
artistic side.
Yes.
Imagine helping children process their emotions through art. How rewarding would that be? Plus, think of all the cool and unique art projects you could create with them.
That's a really good point.
Now, this next one might surprise you. Stick with me on this one, occupational health specialist. It might not be working directly with kids, but it definitely taps into your caring nature in a different way. You're all about safety and well-being in the workplace. And the research you sent over even mentioned designing ergonomic setups, which totally plays into your interest in building and making things.
Exactly.
You know, it's fascinating how these options.
All right. Were you guys able to hear it that time?
Yes.
Yeah, so it generates a conversation between two people talking about whatever it said, so that you could hear it. And it's just another way of taking information in. I mean, for me, this is something that would help me a lot because I don't like reading through pages and pages of kind of not interesting text, but hearing people talk about it like that, it just makes it easier for me to remember and really understand all of the different options because that's just how my brain works. I mean, even if it takes me a little bit longer to get through it, I will have a stronger understanding because of the way they present it. It's not for everybody, but for those who do benefit from have an audio learning style. It's a useful tool. I'm going to try deleting this and see if it gives me a shorter one just as a demo. This is the first time I've ever seen something longer than 15 minutes. It's usually quite short, but yeah, we'll go over, we'll talk about which of the jobs had the highest job satisfaction, the pay scales for each one, and basically everything that we could have read. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Let's see, we're at 7:25 now. So if you guys have some questions before the break, feel free to go ahead and ask them. If not, I think we can start the break a little bit earlier, like 5 minutes early, and then come back, and then we'll move into the second half. Everybody good?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be doing the interview stuff on the second half. And I also, one thing that I should put in there, I'll add the prompt. I find it useful for asking it to rank things because it will tell you the number one thing for this, the number one thing for that. And if there's certain things that are really important for you in a job, it can help you to clearly see. So like, can you rank these by salary? And then that will tell you which of the jobs it suggested makes the most money. Can you rank these by job satisfaction? Which is people that work the jobs that it decided to suggest to you, how happy are they with their job? And you can ask it to rank by anything. And then at the end, you can say, can you combine all these and give me the best possible matches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Justin, I wanted to ask you something. When you do the sharing of the AI,
Mhm.
I'm assuming you're using multiple monitors right now?
Yeah, so I've got so this is my desktop. You can see it. What you're seeing is what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Except for my video camera here, I'm covering up the Zoom with my face. And then I have a laptop where I'm following a lesson plan.
Okay, I guess what I'm getting at is that the AI document that you're asking us to follow is blurry.
Oh,
And
is it on your side?
yeah, it's really blurry. We kind of have to guess what it says, and you can,
Ooh,
but it's kind of
yeah,
problematic.
I didn't know that it was so blurry.
Here's
Over the
here's
break,
my
I'll check my
question.
video settings to see if there's anything I can do
Oh,
to.
wait, here's a suggestion. Can
Mhm.
you just do a Zoom share on the AI? And don't have we don't need to see you, just the document.
Let's see
Okay,
here.
so we don't need to see you speaking, just the document. Because if we do, because I use Zoom share all the time from different things, and whether YouTube, I have not tried it with AI, but I'm just wondering if you did it that way and didn't have so many screens up at one time, if it might come through more clear for your audience.
Yeah, I'm
You
looking
should
through
be
the
able to.
options. Yeah, I'm looking. Let's see. So, to screen share, live stream. No.
Is that you, Natalia?
Justin,
Yeah, I'm looking for,
you just look for the button. It's maybe an arrow, upward arrow. It says present.
oh,
That's
I see something that says share,
Yeah, that's
and
it.
then,
exact.
oh,
That's
I
right.
see.
So bring up your AI
There we go.
behind your Zoom. Now click on your,
Okay.
now click
I
on
see
your
it.
share button and let us see. Yeah,
Perfect.
yes, problem solved. So
Perfect.
There we go.
we can't see you. That, you know, you can fix it so that you are in the screen also. But right now, I think it's more important that we're seeing the documents that you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was blurry for you like that, so
Okay.
apologies there. On my screen, it looks like clear when I'm looking at my webcam image.
So
for-
what you can
some
do is
reason.
you can teach the students how to use a side-by-side speaker view. And that way they've got you, the speaker, the only speaker, and the document. So you're clear and they're clear. Okay? So if you go to the upper right-hand corner of your Zoom screen,
Yeah, I see more
where it says view, if you say
video.
side-by-side speaker, you're gonna see, because I'm talking right now, it's gonna show Vicky and your AI document. But if I stop speaking, we're gonna see you. And then you've achieved what you want. You want the students to see you and your mouth and your expressions and hear you better, but at the same time to see this document.
Okay. My menu's changed when I turn this sharing on.
Okay.
I just disabled it for a minute. It's view, because now I have the speaker.
Or speaker view.
Yeah, I turned it on gallery before so I could see everyone's faces.
You will,
right.
you will still see them. You will still see them.
And then share. There we go. And then I'm going to change my video input from I need to cancel the other thing.
Yeah, just so we see you. None of the other screens, just you and AI. That's all we need to see. I think.
My video is not coming in. Let's close this. Oh, okay, there I am. All right, are you guys able to see me and the window at the same time now?
Yes, bravo.
Yes.
Bravo.
Super.
And the other advantage to this, even though you can't see your students right now, is that once they start talking, you
Then
can
I'll be able to
and
see
you can
it.
switch back and forth, but once they start talking, they go into speaker view too, and then they become on the sidebar. They go to the sidebar.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, I'm just kind of clicking around and seeing how the layout looks on my end. I'm guessing nothing actually is changing on your side. It's just,
That is correct.
yeah.
That is
All right. So okay, so this is break time. We'll be back in, I guess, about 11 minutes from now. I need to get a cable for connecting the phone to the computer real quick. So,
okay.
and then I'm gonna mute myself. Can you guys see my phone right now? I don't know who's still here.
Me, yes, I can.
Okay, super. Thank you.
Justin, may I ask a question regarding this? Let me see. I am using this tool that you mentioned.
The notebook one?
The notebook. It's possible to save. I upload an information in text.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
am using all of the resources, creating a Q&A, all of the stuff. Can that notebook be with all of the documents be saved?
So with this one, so this is basically Google. Google is the company that that makes this. And so what you're doing is when you're linking it to a website, it's not saving anything there. It's just reading the website. But when you put a document, for example, notebook guy, oh, sorry. Where is it? Oh, sources here. You click a source, and then when you link a website,
I am sorry that I interrupt you. I use paste text.
Paste text, yes.
That one. So I copy text.
The pasted text, it's still there. If you want to see it, you can just click on it, and then this is the text that we pasted. So it's saved on the website. But if you want to delete it, you just delete the whole notebook.
So, but I don't need to save the notebook.
No, it automatically saves when you upload.
Okay. Okay.
And then if you want to get rid of it, you can click on these three dots and then remove. But if you don't need to click save. Let's go back and I'll show you.
Okay.
And then it will just be I mean, you can see here, I have a bad habit of not naming my notebooks. And it saves it there, Untitled Notebook. But if you want to, like, if you want to give it a name, you type it up there.
And you have the FAQ. So all of the tools, or I don't know how to call that, FAQ, the postcard, all of that thing can be those things, study guide, a table of content, that can be also automatically saved, right?
Correct. All of this is saved. So when you get to the podcast, if it already has one saved, you'll click here, it will say load. So you click that, and now it's getting the MP3 that it made before. There. So this one was half the length. This was 10 minutes rather than 20 minutes before. And with these conversations, it's worth noting that sometimes it's worth having it do it a few times because it doesn't always give all of the information. It usually focuses on one part of it, although I think for that 20-minute one, it probably gave all the information. But now you can see that it's 10 minutes.
Justin, I'm curious, can you
Mhm.
press on the audio for this and let's see if we can hear it now that it's on a Zoom screen as opposed to what it was on before?
Yeah, hold on. I need to turn on my other microphone and
Okay.
put it by the speaker. Oh, you mean just playing it directly from the shared screen?
Yeah,
Let's see if that works first.
Okay.
Ready to jump into some exciting new
Do you hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, is it clear?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay then.
So the only thing you need is you need external speakers hooked up to your laptop or your desktop or whatever, and then increase the volume, and then you're
Correct.
good to go.
So, yeah, correct.
Okay?
to jump into
Because this isn't loud enough, obviously.
Yeah. What I was doing before, like this thing has two microphones, and I was just putting the other microphone next to the
Yeah.
speaker.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
I didn't want to make it too loud because otherwise you get a feedback loop and it starts screaming at you.
Right.
But
Well, I've got some speakers you could try. They're not even expensive or anything, and they
Yeah.
work. They work. All right.
yeah, usually I have it playing out of my monitor, but I was getting some kind of conflict before the class tonight. But that doesn't usually happen, so I just use the other big speakers.
Okay. If it's possible to create a flashcards using this notebook.
I don't think so. Let's see what happens when we do study guide. Although this isn't really a very good thing for a study guide, but it would be better to put a website. I'm gonna search for something that's a little bit more information heavy. Let's see. Mm, all right, so that's a pretty dense, boring article. Oops. Copy. I'm going to try making a new workbook for demonstration. So in this case, I'm doing a website. So click website, paste, insert. It's reading it. And these are all study notes that appear here in the notebook. I'm waiting for that. I'll find.
Oh.
Notebook's going kind of slow today. Oh, I think this is. Got to turn off my internet again, so it's not trying to tether it. There we go. Okay. So you see what I'm doing is I'm adding a bunch of websites here. And now when I click on these study guides and things like that, it'll give you a better idea of how this is supposed to work.
Okay. So if suppose that you upload 3 websites about
Mhm.
the topic. So then the FAQ, all of the documents are going to be referred to the 3 websites.
Correct. So it will make it will look at all of the websites, all of the text that you decided to paste, and all of the so it will look at everything. It will look at docs, it will look at slides, it will look at websites, it will look at pasted text, and then it will make your summary based on everything that you gave it.
Oh, this is a really nice tool. And tell me something, do college students use this kind of tool? Or they,
Maybe. I mean, it wasn't available when I was doing my last degree. I think they should if they're not, because it's very useful. But this is still pretty new. I mean, even though this was around for a couple years, like this was the new thing from last week, but even so, it's like only like a few years old, I think. So it's still pretty new. But this is a new kind of AI thing where it goes through all of this information and then gives you the big ideas and creates notes for you.
I think I have tried Quizlet, but I think that this tool seems to be better.
Yeah, this is definitely a lot more complete than Quizlet. I'm like that also, for example, if you're studying something like history or even something like this with just scientific, it has a timeline, so it will put everything, in order on this day, this happened first, all the way to the end. So, okay, so this is, let's see, it's not opening for me. I think it's still making it.
And someone tell me something, other person can see your notes? Is that public?
It's only for you unless you choose to share it.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you click share, then you can put people that are connected to your Google account, or you type their Google address. But right now, you see it only has me as able to access it. But you can add other people the same as if you were using Google Docs or Google
Okay.
Suite. So
Oh, thank you so much. This is really helpful.
So you see now the other website. I think it's because this one had so much information, it took a long time. So now this summary is combining information from both of those websites that I gave it.
Okay.
And then also it has a chat, so it's like, so for example, I can ask a question about all of the stuff that I put in there. So let's say I want to know, this one I was asking about bioprinting, which is like 3D printing, but for tissue in the human body. So they're trying to make organs and all that kind of thing. So have we printed human organs yet? What animals have, oh, I just gotta, all my notes came up. Have had working organs printed. And so you can also ask it questions similar to ChatGPT, but it's asking about questions that are related to the articles or information that you gave it. And so now it just gave me a very fast answer. So I was asking about, have we made human organs yet with bioprinting? Okay, it looks like they've done it with mice. And so, yeah, it adds another note based on your question.
Okay. And those are the reference, the numbers, 1, 2, 3 in the response.
Oh, let me see, go back to view. So this is just the chat. And so this is the question I asked because this is about, and then this is the answer it asked based on what they found in the information I give it.
Okay.
And then let's go back to the things that I generated. So it does a frequently asked question. And so this is based on what we had on those websites. And so it breaks it down into frequently asked questions. This one is a table of contents. I'm not quite sure how this one is used yet. I haven't used this enough. Let's see here, study guide. So it makes a study guide for you, broken into different sections. And then it also gives you sample essay questions, key terms, and then the timeline. So this takes all the information from the what I gave it, and it says, okay, so early 2000s, they first started working on this, and then they bring it all the way to, let's see, 2019, and then the present, which is what's happening right now. So, yeah, it's a way of basically organizing information from a lot of different places. But in terms of, I mean, I really like the conversations because it just puts it in a format that works well for, I'm a very audio person, so when I hear things, I remember them well. And it also helps when they talk about it using normal conversation instead of, scientific or academic language. So this is why I like this and why I was sharing it. Because
think that is also important. For example, in my case, I am more a visual learner. However, when the text is extremely extensive or especially if it's in English, I prefer in that case switch if I am tired. And also that helped me to learn the pronunciation of the
I mean, what I've been doing with this, not every day, but many days, is I'm the kind of person that just likes learning things. And so a lot of times I will just give it 5 or 6 websites before I go to bed and have it create a conversation like a podcast for me. And then I'll just listen to it on my headphones while I'm going to bed to learn about something new because that's how I am. I like learning new things. So, and if I were to just be listening to something read, a website like this, that would not put me to sleep. It would just annoy me. But having it presented as a conversation, I'm learning, and then it's also the voices are nice to listen to. They're not bad voices, and I'll fall asleep to it. So, all right. So I'm going to go back to. All right. So now we're going to do the interview stuff. We went a little over time when I was explaining this. So we are now going to the phone, and we're going to practice doing interview questions. So I'm going to use the same situation, the same chat with that nurse who wasn't happy with her job, and then she has all of these different ideas for a career. Let's say now she's found a job, she's getting ready for an interview, and she needs to practice. So I'm going to say that I want to practice an interview now. I'm actually going to use the voice. So if you remember from the first time or from the first workshop, you click on the headphone things or tap on it, and then we're entering to the speaking mode, and it's listening to me now. You can see it says listening. So I'm going to talk to it and say, hey, can you help me prepare for a job interview for a school nurse position? And I want you to give me realistic questions that they might ask me. And wait for me to answer each question before moving on to the next one.
Great. Let's get started on preparing for your school nurse interview. I'll ask you realistic questions, and you can answer each one as you would in an actual interview. Once you're done answering, let me know, and I'll move on to the next question.
Can you hear it okay?
Why do you want to transition from a clinical or hospital setting to working as a school nurse? Feel free to answer whenever you're ready.
Well,
Esta dura.
were you able to hear the voice when it was talking?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It looks like I can't actually hear any voice input from you directly.
it was,
However, I'm ready to continue with our conversation if you want to type in your responses, and we can proceed that way. Just let me know when you're ready to answer the first interview question. Why do you want to transition from a clinical or hospital setting to working as a school nurse? Once you respond, I'll give you feedback or move on to the next question.
well, I didn't like the long hours and I felt like I was kind of invisible. The doctor didn't really appreciate me and I don't like the stress and I'm not happy at that job.
That's a really honest and relatable response. Transitioning to a school nurse position can be appealing because it typically offers a more structured environment with regular hours, and you're more likely to be directly involved in the student's well-being, which can feel more rewarding. For the interview, I would suggest framing your answer to focus on the positives of the school nurse role, like your desire to work closely with children, make a direct impact, and enjoy a healthier work-life balance. Here's how you could enhance your answer. I'm looking to transition to a school nurse role because I want to apply my nursing skills in an environment where I can focus on preventative care and build strong relationships with the students I work with. I've realized that I thrive in roles where I can make a direct, meaningful impact. And working with children in a school setting feels like a perfect fit for me. I'm also looking for a better work-life balance, and I believe the structured hours of a school nurse will allow me to continue doing what I love, caring for people, while maintaining a healthier balance in my own life. Let me know if you're ready for the next question.
So I told it to wait to ask me the next question, but what you can see here is we went over this in the first workshop, but if you are one of the people who weren't there, after you talk to it, you drop out and then you can see it all in text. So you don't have to just remember everything it said, especially if you don't know all of the vocabulary. So you can see the sample answer that it gave. And let's say you don't know some of these words, you can go and ask for clarification and ask to explain it in using different words and to teach you the vocabulary. You can also say, can you ask it to just ask all of the questions first and then give me the feedback after the full interview, so that way it feels more like a real interview. But really the powerful thing about this is that it lets you practice talking and it will ask the questions in the way that a company will ask you the questions. Is everybody following? Were you able to see all that on my screen? I'm kind of hello. Oh wait, I see chats. Okay. So yeah, and then also within Chat GPT, you can change your voices. If you didn't like that one, where is voice right here? So
Hey there. Hey, I'm ready to hit the ground
so
running.
there's a lot of
If there's
different
anything
voices
you'd
you
like
can
me to focus
choose. Let me go back to so anyways, yeah, you can change the voices up too. So yeah, would you guys, let's see, so we're already at 8:05, so What I would like you guys to do is try asking it to start an interview. So the Job Hunter GPT app is something that I made, and it's part of the Chat GPT app. So if you have Chat GPT, then you have Job Hunter. You just have to follow the link that I put in the class at the beginning. I'll put it here again. And the Job Hunter GPT that I made is going to be better than the regular Chat GPT because I gave it about 800 pages of interview questions for different industries, for different jobs, and also just career guidance and picking the best career for you. So it has a lot of, yeah, I can stay a little bit after class. That's fine. So yeah, but to answer the question, yes, the Job Hunter GPT is part of the Chat GPT website and app. So what I would, so yeah, I think that it would be good for everybody to kind of give it a try. And just say, you can open up the Job Hunter GPT by following that link. If you have your smartphone, the only way to use the chatting version where you're speaking out loud is on a smartphone. So if you don't have one handy, then you'll be limited to using your computer. Although I do think that in the computer interface, you can use your microphone. Hold on, let me check. Maybe they don't have it anymore. Yeah, okay, so you need to use your phone if you want the microphone thing, unfortunately. Otherwise, you have to type. And I keep forgetting that there's some people that weren't here the first time. To find it in the App Store or the Google Play Store, you search for Chat GPT, and then you need to have a Google account to sign in. And then once you have your account set up, if you don't have it already, when you click that link, then it should open the app for you. I will try finding Job Hunter GPT in the store. I don't know if they've listed it yet. I told them to put it in the store, but sometimes it can take a while. Doesn't look like they have it there yet, so you have to use the link. So, yeah.
Justin, do you have like it looks like a 1950s screen that we're hiring now? Did you use clip art that looks like that?
Say that again?
So I went to the link for Job Hunter ChatGPT, and
Yeah.
what came up was like a 50s sign that looked
Yeah,
like
and
we're
it says
hiring.
now hiring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the icon for the chat. And
Okay.
then you'll see something that says sign up to chat. That would mean that
Yeah.
you're not already logged in with Google.
Yes. Yes.
So you'll click on that. Let me go back to let me share that screen. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm signed in already, but I didn't see the.
Yeah, I'll demonstrate for everyone.
Okay.
So yeah, if you click that link on your computer, you'll end up here. You sign up to chat, and then if you have your Gmail address, you'll just continue with Google, and then it will run you through logging in.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And it will be the same on your smartphone,
Yes.
and then you're here. Let me go back to the phone display. Oh, what happened to my? It's not letting me get back into my iTools. Hmm. All right, okay, so you should see it now. Let me see. Let's see here by GPT. Yeah, we'll have the orange now hiring sign. So are you guys able to use it right now? It's so weird to me not hearing people in the classroom because it's online and not seeing what everyone's doing.
Yes, we can use it. We can access it and use it.
Yeah, so I guess I'm checking in to see how it's going, if you're able to, if you're doing the mock interviews and if it's working well.
Justin, could you
Yes.
please put the prompt for practicing interview?
Okay. Yeah, I saved it over here. Let's see here. Resume building. I'm gonna put a bunch of prompts in there. And okay, so I have a couple of interview prompts for different types of questions. The one that I spoke out loud was a lot more general. But these are asking for like how you act on the job versus technical skill interview. You could also just say, and that's more of a general one. I'm going to give you a lot of different prompts. This might not let me paste them all.
Are you placing these in the Job Hunter Chat GPT, or are you making up a notebook with them?
So I'm just putting, you can use them either in the Job Hunter GPT or the regular Chat GPT.
Okay,
They'll work better in Job Hunter, but you can use them with regular.
okay. And
Because the Job Hunter has more data and more information about interview questions than the regular one does.
I heard you say that you asked to have it published.
Oh, the job Hunter GPT?
Yeah.
What I meant was that when I ask it to publish it in the store, it means that other people can search for it and find it and use it.
Okay,
Because I was the one that made it. I didn't mean like publish the information from the chats, no.
okay, got it. Got it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put some of these prompts in the chat now. Is there a way to upload a document to the chat that people can download? I'm not.
Yes, go to the bottom of the chat. And you'll see there's a couple of
The
little.
3 dots.
Yeah,
No,
go.
I see it. File. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
I got it.
Copy and paste.
All right, that's what I'm gonna do. As soon as my cursor stops spinning.
Justin, if you're done with your
Oh, is it still on there? Yeah, okay.
you can stop sharing. There you go.
Yeah, my Word just crashed. Let's see, using AI for job hunter.
And then you can also go back to gallery view rather than speaker view.
Yep, I'll be right there. Just trying to get this to everyone to save. Save as. Oops. File. Mm-mm. That makes me close it. Okay. Start again. Did that work? No. Why isn't it uploading? I'm trying to upload a Word document so that everybody can see it. And save it. There we go. All right.
The practice, job interview practice.
Yep, I just uploaded it. So those give you a few prompts for different situations.
Por supuesto. Vamos a empezar con una práctica de entrevista para el puesto de Section Manager, Global Labeling Operations. Recuerda que te haré una pregunta, esperaré a que me confirmes cuando hayas terminado de responder y después te proporcionaré feedback antes de pasar a...
The interview is in English. Please, let's practice in English. I want to practice for my job interview in English.
Alice, you're too funny.
Got it. let's switch to English for the interview practice. I'll ask you one question at a time, and you can respond when you're ready. After each response, I'll give you feedback and move to the next question. First question. Tell me about a time when you led a team through a challenging project. How did you ensure your team stayed motivated and productive? Take
Mm.
You don't need to give the Job Hunter GPT as many details when you ask it to do the interview. I mean, you can, it's just that you don't need to, because it already has a lot of that information that I put in it already. It could just be as simple as, help me do a practice interview for this job, and then done.
Okay.
But if you do that for the regular GPT, I mean, it'll try, but the questions will be very boring and not really directly related to what the job is that you're doing it for, as where the other one, it has, you know, hundreds of questions that other people have had before already, it memorized them. So it can kind of get ideas from those questions.
Thank you for doing that work. It sounds like it
Mhm.
was a lot of uploading and searching, so thank you.
Yeah, it's I like it. I like my job. So is it really work when you're having a good time?
Oh, this tool is really cool.
Mm,
Thank you so much.
of course. Let's see here. And then the last thing that you can ask about it, and we kind of went over this already. I used this in the example of the nurse who, you know, has been working as a nurse but doesn't like her job anymore and wants to know how she can use her same skills in another job. This also applies to people who, like we said at the beginning of this workshop, they did a job in their home country, but they don't see the same kind of job as commonly here. You can say, okay, I'm from, and then whatever country you're from, this is the job I did, and I was good at it. What jobs are there in the USA that will use the same skills so that I don't feel like I'm starting over from the beginning? So you can ask that kind of question too, but just talk to it naturally. And because this is a job hunting exercise, as Alice just demonstrated for us, it speaks your language. I think it speaks 136 languages, if I remember correctly. So you can go ahead and talk to it in your language, but then when you're ready to practice the interview, you can say, okay, it's time to switch to English. That way, you know, it has all of the accurate information from your history when you describe it,
Okay.
but you're actually practicing in English, like you corrected it.
So if we're working on a collaborative project
Mm-hmm.
and you share it with different people, does it work like a Google Doc in that everybody can see it and edit it if you make them editors at the same time?
What is it in this situation? Because we've covered a few things.
Yeah. So here I am in the Job Hunter GPT.
GPT.
Okay. So
Mhm.
I'm playing with it and I'm trying to figure out what would be a good resume. And I'm working on it with Suzanne and Esmeralda. We're working on it together, okay, as what would be an ideal resume. If I share it with them, can all three of us type on it and share our ideas at the same time?
So not with the basic accounts. If you have a business account and each person has a business account, I think they have some options to work together. I haven't actually used one like that before, but I think it's there. But what you can do is you can share the chat log so that other people can read what you did in your chat, and you can't, so you are able to share that way. So
So
I'll
what, so
demonstrate.
then, so if in fact you need a business, subscription, then what does the share enable you to do when we're using a G?
I'll show you just a moment.
Because I know
So
how to share it, but then what does it, we can't type on it, we can just read it
correct.
together?
It will just show everything that you've typed and everything that it said up until the point that you hit share. If you add more after you shared it with someone, they won't see the new posts.
Okay, but I could share it so that everybody could see it wherever, in
Correct.
whatever various locations they are. And I could continue typing with everybody else's input. Is that correct? Because
Yeah, they won't be able to interact, but they can read what you wrote, or they can read whatever you sent them, and then you can listen to their feedback, then you can type more, yes.
and will
And
they
then
see it as I'm typing, or no? They're
no,
only
they won't see it. You'd have to share
okay.
it again.
Okay, all right.
And then also what you could do is, let's say you're building a resume, you can just copy the most recent version, and then they can open up a new session and then paste it, and then say, let's go from here.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and
All
then
right.
they'll get new updates,
Okay,
but it won't be synced between all of them.
got it. Got it. And
But let's say you have 5 people that are doing this, you
Uh-huh.
could copy 5 versions, put them all in there and say, give me the best of all 5 versions, and then it will
Okay.
kind of combine them.
Okay. And Rennie, am I assuming that nobody has a business AI account in
We
adult?
do have one with the school, but we're making them for student accounts. We haven't put them on the licenses on any of the teacher accounts. Rennie, I think she left already, or is she still here?
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I do know that we have 10 business licenses, but we were planning to use them for the students in the tech classes because they're so AI heavy.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, if you see the use, like the value in expanding it, then by all means talk to her about
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
But I mean, the main concern when we got our first 10 licenses, it was more, we've got students in the classroom, but they can't get into the tool because I'm using the advanced features that you don't get with the free account. So we need to make sure they have access to practice at home and not just look at my screen.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm going to go ahead and share this link so that you can click on it and see what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll post that in the chat. My chat window disappeared. Where did it go?
At the bottom of the screen.
Oh, there's nothing at the bottom. Maybe I'm hiding it with a window somewhere. Okay, maybe there's. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's at the top of the screen, at the bottom. Yeah, so you can try clicking that. Oh, you can try clicking that link and you'll see how it looks to someone else that clicks on a shared link.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's giving, oh, because it's still my account. I'm assuming that when you log in, it doesn't give you the option to continue. It's giving me the option, but I think it's because like I started the conversation.
It says I can continue the conversation.
Oh, really? That
Mhm.
is news to me. Well, if that's working for you, then give
Can
it a
you type
shot.
Dan on it?
It might be based on your account though, because it's not updating on my side if you're typing anything. But you can see down in the bottom corner here, it says add team workspace, but then it makes you, sign up for a business account, which I don't have. I'm just using my personal account for this one.
Okay, I was able to type, can you see my typing? And it read it and responded. Does anybody
I
else?
think it's letting you continue the conversation then, but
Yeah.
not on my side.
Okay, not jointly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Same.
running information. I asked about possible employers
Okay,
and it's going to town.
okay.
Yeah, you can also say, can you give me a list of like jobs that are available near me, and you can tell it what city you live in, and then it will search on the internet for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
I forgot to mention that before. I probably should have. It's kind of an important thing. So it's like, can you find school nurse job openings near me? I live in zip code. Let's say I'll use my old. That's Washington. So it's searching Indeed now. Still thinking.
So we don't even have to go to these other websites. We can just,
I know.
I love it.
I do too. For example, I just asked mine, potential employers, and then I said, can you narrow it down to Deerfield, Illinois? And it
Yep.
pops up with 2 School District 109 and Sunbelt Staffing.
And then it's always going to be more accurate though if you go to the actual website. Sometimes it doesn't pull the correct information, but it does give you a good idea of what might be out there. And of course, those websites like Indeed and other types of websites like that, it will give you a means to actually apply, although it's usually almost always better to apply directly with the employer rather than through a third
Yes.
party.
That is, yeah, that's something that they're reiterating, I can't even say the word, reiterating up at the job center, because they said what happens often with Indeed and Glassdoor is they kind of stockpile the resumes for a
Mhm.
long period of time, and the people who are going directly to the company are getting hired before they even get to look at the ones from applications on Indeed and Glassdoor. So
And then
makes sense.
also something that is in one of the prompts that are in the prompts document I uploaded, where it says optimize your resume for applicant tracking systems, ATS.
Good.
What it
Okay.
will do is it will reword some of the things in your resume that when your file is just in a computer database somewhere and it searches for keywords for people that
Yes.
they want to talk to, it will come up on their searches. And so you can use that prompt, optimize my resume for ATS by including relevant keywords for and then whatever job you're doing. And then it will update it and show you, so that way you'll end up in more of the company's searches.
That was my question. I think I had put in the chat earlier. So perfect.
Justin, it looks like Esmeralda wasn't having any luck. She said, I used it, but it doesn't seem like it goes anywhere.
Were you using so what kind of questions were you asking it? And was it the Job Hunter one or the normal GPT?
Esmeralda.
Yeah, that's for Esmeralda.
Yeah, are you still there, Esmeralda? Okay. She's not responding.
She might be typing, but I think she's still in the chat.
Okay. All right. What time is class over?
Oh, class is over now, but I can linger. Like I officially, like, we say 8:30, but I tend to hang out until 8:45 just in case there's questions or people want more information.
Esmeralda,
But-
which one are you using that you're having trouble with?
If it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, just as a general rule, it's a good idea to give it more specific information so that it understands your situation better, and that usually gives it more to work with. It's kind of like going to a fortune teller and you just say, tell me about my future. Well, they don't have anything, but if you tell them about your personal life, they'll be able to tell you something and make a guess about what will happen in your future. So the more information you give it, the better response you'll get.
Okay.
Which question did you ask the Job Hunter? There's the optimizing for ATS, which is when your resume is in a company database and you want to appear on that company's searches when a new job opens.
Oh, that's a good thing. Okay.
Justin, will there be more digital workshops?
There will. We haven't decided the topics yet for next month. Each month we're going to decide on the 3 topics. And I know that Rennie is like, she's my boss. She says that we want to hear from the students what the students find valuable and what is most interesting to them. So if you leave your comments with either her or Diego or Veronica, she'll pass that on, and we'll be sure to get workshops that are, what you want to learn about. If we don't hear from people, then we're just gonna kind of say, oh, I think that could be interesting to somebody, and kind of hope it is, just hope it is. But there will be workshops. We just don't know the topics yet.
Okay, I think that I attended the 3 workshops, and I think that they have been really helpful for me. And I have used all of the recommendation, all of what I have learned in these workshops, mainly because I was looking for a job and I just got a job.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Excellent, Alice. Excellent.
Yes, the only thing is that, well, I practiced for my job interview and I got it. But how can I say this? It would have been good helpful if I would know about this
Beforehand, before.
before, but
Mm.
well, in the future, and also it's going to be helpful for me to continue improving my English.
Mm.
Yes.
And
Yes,
as I have learned that I have not to wait until I have a job interview to work on that. I
Excellent.
need, yes.
I
excellent.
think that one of the topics that we talked about, but we haven't decided on, but if there's enough interest, we might be doing some things like AI for the workplace. So for like office jobs, how you can use AI to help your daily work, to get things done faster. A lot of my classes are about working smarter, not harder. So, and using AI to help with that. I can't guarantee that because we don't have the schedule yet, but that is one of the things that we were kind of thinking about maybe. Then we're also looking at some non-AI workshops about just how to use different computer programs, different parts of Google Suite, doing spreadsheets with formulas and calculations. I mean, technically that is a form of AI, but not like this. This is way more advanced than those are. So teaching people those kind of skills. I mean, we have a lot of ideas, but it kind of depends on where the interest is.
Well, okay, I think that it is helpful. I think that, for example, drafting a email, putting the intention in the email. So I mean, to for example, if you need a more formal email content or something less or something informal, or
mhm.
so I think that it could be helpful for us to learn about that using AI and
I
how AI is being used in the companies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that for the situation that you just described, I would use it a bit like how I was teaching about using it for helping your writing. But before asking it to make suggestions and teach you, tell it the situation first, saying that I'm sending an email to this person. This is the situation. So I want to make sure that the tone is correct, and then it will add that to everything else that you learn to do with the writing examples or with the writing prompts that we went over before.
Also, I think that it's important in case that you need to make a presentation,
Yeah.
to help you preparing the slides. I have tried to do that using ChatGPT. I have been able, but ChatGPT give me a PowerPoint presentation, but it's not what I'm expecting.
Yeah, that's one thing that ChatGPT does not do well. That's one of the topics I thought I'm actually going to be teaching the teachers about this pretty soon. But yeah, that's another thing that we can get into if we do one of these office AI workshops, or I might connect it also if I do a thing for like Google Sheets. But let me see if I can remember it. I'm doing this off the top of my head right now.
And let me tell you
There's a
something.
website that you can
Uh-huh.
you might be able to use. We don't have time to go all the way through it, but if you need it now, let me see if I can. Let's see. I think this is no, that's not what I wanted. Gamma. Let me try. Oh, gamma.app, not IO. Okay, so which are you able to see this new website, or am I sharing the wrong window?
And you are yes, Gamma.
Okay, so log in. It's been a while since I've used this.
Tell me something, is that free?
We're not seeing.
The way that it was before is that it would let you do a 10-slide presentation for free. But if you wanted more pages, you needed to do more. So let's just do for work.
But why not just use PowerPoint?
because this will, you will see. So, all right, so let's create new. So right now I don't have a page of notes to give. Actually, I'll make a page of notes for in Chat GPT. So give me a page of notes for a PowerPoint presentation about, let's say, photosynthesis.
Mhm.
This is just so that I have something to do. All right, so now I'm just gonna imagine I already had these notes that I had made myself, not with Chat GPT. And then I can go to, let's see here. I'm going to do 10 cards, describe what you'd like to make. So now these are going to be my slides. It's 10 cards, continue. And now I can pick the style that I like. So let's just pick this blue one. And then do I like light, dark? Let's keep the dark. Professional. Stay with that. Generate. And there's a lot more things that you can toggle here. It's just, I'm trying to go quick because it's the end. And now I can go to present. And now this is slide 1. Oh, no, that's the last slide, my bad. Let's go back to slide 1. How do I get out of here? Sorry, it's been a while since I've done this. All right, now I'm on page 1. Now I'll click present. There we go. So are you seeing this? I just want to make sure I'm not clicking through no one. So this is the PowerPoint that it made based on my notes.
Okay.
And then what do I push to go to the next one? There we go. Definition of photosynthesis. And so that took what, less than 5 minutes? And now you could use this in your class or your work. And then you can do a lot of other things too. You can like tell it to create a certain style of artwork for visual displays. If you wanted to, you could just say, make me a presentation about this topic. And then I don't know how good the information will be. It's kind of rolling the dice when you do that. But it is very useful to quickly give you a presentation. And this is something that I would teach in a unit about, AI for school and presentations or the workplace. And it's what I'll be teaching probably part of next week when I'm doing a staff meeting. So yeah, but students won't be there for that one. But there's a lot of tools for things like that, but Chat GPT is not so good for PowerPoint. And then what you can do is you can export it, where is it? To PowerPoint or PDF. So I'll export to PowerPoint.
Okay.
And then it's making the file now, then I'll be able to download it and I'll be able to open it up in PowerPoint. So there it is. And there we go. There's my PowerPoint presentation that it just made me. Which is why that is, better than just doing it from scratch, because it takes a long time to arrange the text boxes and all that
Exactly.
when you're doing it manually. I'm not used to this new version of PowerPoint. I used an old version before, so I don't know how to start the slides in the new one.
Hit done, first of all.
Hmm?
Hit done. If you've already exported it, hit done.
Yeah, this is in PowerPoint now. I just haven't used the new version of PowerPoint, so I forgot how to start. Oh, there it is. Start from the beginning. There we go. And so now that's, oh wait, you're not.
You have to hit done.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
To get to
You can-
PowerPoint.
Uh-huh.
So now this is what it looks like from PowerPoint.
Yes.
And what was it? Space. Yeah, there we go.
Mm.
If you're using the free version, you have the little watermark in the corner that says made with Gamma. But if you sign up for the subscription, then that goes away and you can do much longer presentations.
And what is it called? What is the website? Just Gamma?
GAMMA
Uh-huh.
.app.
.app. Okay. All right. You can make up to 10 slides.
Yeah, 10 slides.
Okay.
But then if you were to export 2 10-slide presentations and you had the skills, you could combine them in PowerPoint if you really wanted to.
Uh-huh. Okay.
All righty. Let's call it a night. I need to talk to your teacher for a little bit.
Okay. Okay, thank you so
Esmeralda, are
much.
you still there? Esmeralda, you said goodbye a long time ago. And she's showing, Helen, are you still here? No.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Helen.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. How are you?
Good.
Good. Is Diego in bed, I hope?
No, he's waiting for me.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We'll see you on Monday, but I want to talk to your teacher.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Night. Thank you so much. The
Right.
presentation was good.
Yeah, I hope this is helpful.
Yes, sure it is. Bye.
Okay. Let's see who knows how to leave. Got